Welcome back, Truth Seeker. December 30th, 2020. It's LeBron James' birthday. It's Tiger Woods' birthday. It's Tyrese Bedford's birthday. It's that one day of the year where you can add the day and the month and it equals 42. 12 plus 30. There's no other day like it in the year. And we're going to talk about some racial programming headlines by the numbers, some race-related deaths by the numbers, from Joe Clark to Dalvin Cook, who both happen to be black men. Of course, that number 42 stamped all over black history. And no, Dalvin Cook's not dead, but his father is at the premature age of 46. His father couldn't have died on a more perfect day in light of the team he plays for, the Minnesota Vikings, as we'll get to. We got to follow up on the death of Luke Harper, also known as Brody Lee. His wife put out a tribute about how much she misses him 56 hours after his passing. And of course, we've been talking about the number 56 all year. Again, want to revisit what I talked about last night. It seems that nobody got any notifications for the videos I did last evening because everyone's asking me to make a video covering his death, the abortion news out of Argentina. Again, you guys, please, before you leave a comment asking me to cover something, click on my channel and click on the video tab because almost no one gets any notifications. You're lucky if you get 1/3 of the notifications for the videos I make. Again, I'm constantly pumping out content. If you go to Gematria Effect News, click the videos tab, you should be able to see all the videos I've made. Okay? That should be the first thing you always do before you ask me to cover anything because every day bombarded with requests to cover topics I've already covered. And if you see a video is, over an hour long, assume that I probably covered a whole lot of stuff in that video because that's almost always the case. Okay. Also, we'll be talking about a little bit more about the Petula Clark song. Put out a video on it yesterday, but I did an abbreviated video. I didn't cover everything that was in the post. Talk about this GOP senator asking for a vote to make sure the Electoral College results are right. And we'll see exactly why they chose this senator. It's the perfect pattern that we've been talking about all year with the rigged election and why it would go for Biden. Just shows you what a joke our federal government is day after day. Straight from the Cladex and Event 201 simulations, we're getting headlines today about how the Pfizer vaccine failed a nurse. A nurse got the vaccine and then ended up catching COVID days later. See what a big joke that is. That's in the headlines today. Again, talk about why the vaccine from AstraZeneca that was developed at Oxford is being released on the 42 date, exactly 42 weeks after the pandemic was declared March 11th. Of course, it's been nonstop stories about vaccines in 42 all year. And we'll just review a few more things in case you missed the videos I put out yesterday. We'll also talk about the Yemen airport bombing today. Yemen and Saudi Arabia just agreed to new governmental terms. They were having a meeting about that today, and then boom, big explosion at the airport, reportedly 22 people dead. And then got a new update. Supposedly the fictional Nashville bomber has a girlfriend, and I'm guessing she is just as fictional. And would you believe it? The NFL quarterback who's been going through racial shaming headlines for more than a week, he's now been released by the team and is fighting over $4.2 million for his salary. And again, that's another tribute to 42. And also in the world of good news, Amazon has reinstated the Kindle edition of my book. So if you did want the Kindle edition, it is back up on Amazon. Who knows how long it'll be there. They've taken down the physical copy. They've taken down the Kindle edition. They've put it back up. They've taken it down, but right now it's back up. So just wanted to get that announcement out there as well. Again, Number Games 9/11 to Coronavirus by Zachary K. Hubbard. That's yours truly. And I think it's funny. Okay, do you guys think that's a coincidence that when you search for the book, they put it right next to this one? Things to do while you poo. I have a feeling that's a sick joke by Amazon. Okay. Let's start with this story right here. The death of Joe Clark, the New Jersey principal who was brought to life in the film Lean on Me, where Morgan Freeman played the part. The title of the film will definitely remind you of Bill Withers, who died earlier this year, March 30th. We covered that then. But today in the headlines, Joe Clark, the principal who had a movie made about him, who was on the cover of Time magazine, who was known for walking down the hallways of his school with a baseball bat. Dead at 82. And the headlines do come today, December 30th, but they're reporting that he died yesterday, December 29th. But it's easy to see why this headline comes to today. Of course, it's the 12/30 date, 12 plus 30, 42, the number stamped all over Black history. But notice, today also, the date numerology, 12 plus 30 plus 20 plus 20 equals 82. And what age are they saying he died at? 82. And in light of him being from New Jersey, I'm reminded of a basketball team that used to be in New Jersey that moved across the state boundary there. And, today's LeBron's birthday, and 82, that's normally how many games are in an NBA season, not to mention in gematria, pro basketball equals 82. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's a little bit of foreshadowing for what's to come in the rigged world of entertainment. Who can forget the year that LeBron James, they started previewing the movie Trainwreck with LeBron James in it, and then days later there was a train wreck in Philadelphia, the original home of the Warriors, before LeBron and the Warriors met in the finals. They said the train wreck happened at 9:23 p.m. in Jewish gematria. LeBron James equals 923. Again, I'm just reminding you how it all comes together, the world of rigged entertainment controlled by the Jesuits. But notice, TMZ always on the scene when somebody dies. You ever seen that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's, what's it called, Nightcrawler? Where he makes the news, essentially, goes out, kills people, instigates things, takes photos of it, and then sells the photos to make money for the news story. That's what TMZ reminds me of. I feel like TMZ is just right there murdering people and then first to break the news of the death. You know what I mean? But anyhow, Joe Clark, Lean On Me, principal dead at 82. And just notice in the gematria of Lean On Me, it's the exact same as murder in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. The one cipher where it's not the same, where murder's 83. Remember the song Murder by Numbers by the Police came out in 1983. And this man became principal in 83. And Morgan Freeman, who played him in the movie's 83 right now. And just think about how often we're talking about murder in 83 in light of the ritual. Oh, by the way, his full name, Joe Louis Clark, 83. And if you die at age 82, that means you died in your 83rd year of life. And again, just to clarify that, a lot of people get hung up on that. Your first year of life starts when you're born, right? You're not 1 year old, but it's your first year of life. And then when you turn 1, you begin your second year of life. And then you turn 2, and then you begin your third year of life. Elementary. So, Lean On Me, it's got those numbers in it. And again, Morgan Freeman, who played him, 83 years old right now. From Morgan Freeman's June 1st birthday to the death, which was yesterday, December 29th, was 211 days later. 211's the 47th prime, and New Jersey equals 47, because again, this is about a New Jersey high school, and 47, of course, is the number of the authority. Authority 47, government 47, you know the list. The what is 47 list. But 211 days after Morgan Freeman's birthday, fits in with the whole New Jersey thing. And from the death of Bill Withers, this is Bill Withers, he's got a lot of great songs. You might argue that his most remembered song is Lean On Me. But from Bill Withers' death on March 30th to this man's death, Joe Clark, on December 29th, 274 days later, the Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, is 274. And if you write out the Jesuit order, it's 201. He died on 12/29. We've had this date circled all year in anticipation of all the rituals that would happen on it. 12/29 is the 201st prime, so perfect day to take a man's life in a Jesuit ritual. Synced up with Bill Withers. Again, the Jesuits control the world of entertainment. And again, the gentleman who called in, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, but he's like, I don't think the guy from Houdini who died at 56 had anything to do with the Jesuits. He might not have, but again, he worked in the recording industry, which is controlled by the Jesuits. And I didn't want to argue with him because he seemed like a nice guy and I just didn't feel like arguing, but he's like, he was a 5%er, not a Jesuit, and I wasn't arguing, but again, he's not realizing what he's saying. If you're a 5%er, what's the remainder? 95%. And who loves 95? Oh, the Jesuits. They were created to counter the 95 Theses, recognized by Rome on the day leaving 95 days left in the year. I mean, if you listen to that caller, he said he was into more of the like black empowerment, blame the white man thing. It's like, this guy really, he might follow my work, but he doesn't listen. Again, the Jesuits are the divide and conquer gang. You don't think that they do that with their hip hop music and all their entertainment? Especially hip hop. I mean, hip hop's always been blame the white man. Blame the white man. Blame the white man. Most white people in this country don't have anything either, It's a class system more than it's a race system. But anyway, clear Jesuit rituals, the murder of Bill Withers by the numbers. What did they do with the Bill Withers thing right after he died? There was some commercial going on at the time that was playing his song over and over. It was sick. I forget. I got to go back and look at it. We've covered a lot this year. But here he is on the cover of Time magazine. Don't forget, Time magazine's a Jesuit publication, just like the New York Times, just like most of mainstream media. Time magazine's 201. Is getting tough the answer? And then they got the picture of Joe Clark holding the baseball bat. And I mean, just think about it, you guys. I mean, being forced to be in a building, you don't want to be there, you're not learning jack shit. The principal, he's going to beat your ass with the baseball bat. I mean, this is not the answer. No, it's not. Joe Clark says yes, that's because Joe Clark was a sellout. Straight from Uncle Tom's cabin. And that's why he meets his demise by the numbers. But notice, they reported on the 30th, and the most pure cipher, Joe Clark 30. Remember the way they stamped 30 and 42 all over black history? Slavery 30 and 42, Malcolm X 30 and 42, Martin 30 and 42, Tuskegee 30 and 42, the N-word 42 and 30, Jesuit 42, today's LeBron James' birthday 42, again it's Tyrese's birthday. It's did I say Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods' birthday. It's Tyrese Bedford's birthday. Again, all these men have this 12/30 birthday. I should have had Jackie up there. Jackie's another 42. Of course, Jackie Robinson, number 42. Don't forget at the beginning of the year, you had the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight. And we said it was easy to see. It was a race ritual in February that Deontay Wilder would stay on 42 wins against Tyson because Tyson's 42. And Fury would pick up his 30th win because Deontay's 30. And again, it was in Black History Month and just the way they bring these numbers together. And, I got to show you guys something. There was a guy out here on YouTube. His channel's grown many times over the years, despite his racist and as many times as he's violated the terms of service, But this guy, Young Pharaoh, was putting out all sorts of propaganda about that fight. Young Pharaoh, he was saying that Tyson Fury cheated and he had something in his gloves. And again, that's all bullshit, you guys. This guy's just a straight bullshitter. And look at what day he joined YouTube. July 20th, the 201st day of the year, the day of the moon landing. Don't forget Neil Armstrong's full name's 201, just like the Jesuit order. But there's no doubt about it that Young Pharaoh's one of these plants. The whole time he's been here, he's been divisive. He's been another blame whitey guy. All he does is spew propaganda. I mean, truly, you guys, let these people know that you're not having it. I mean, he recently uploaded a video where he said he's done working with white people, and he said he only did it because he was getting that money. I mean, what's he teaching people? He hates white people, but then he'll go work with white people because he wants to get their money, and he'll vouch for Trump because he wants that money. And then he says in his beginning of his video where I'm talking about, he says, "But I'm done with all that, and now I'm back to how we need to get segregated, and we need to be segregated. Black people need to be segregated from white people." Can you imagine if I was making videos like this, calling for the segregation of black people? How fast do you think my YouTube channel would be down? This guy's on here blaming Jews all day, Jew this, Jew that. Imagine how many times more my channel would be deleted. So, again, Young Pharaoh, major shill in the community. Wake up, people. Huge shill. Stands for nothing but money. It's sick watching this stuff, you guys. It's sick. Guys that just put out trash content. Google supports it. Don't forget Google's CEO, Sundar Pichai, equals 201, Jesuit order. They got that fake Ashkenazi as the CEO. But again, just want to remind you guys about the shills in the community that put out bullshit. Tyson Fury fight was rigged, but it wasn't because he cheated. It's because it was rigged by the numbers, like how they rig all sports games. So, again, you guys, big talker right there. The guy with the little weasel rat-sounding voice, Young Pharaoh. Notice he won't say a peep back to me because he knows he'll get destroyed. Then he talks all big about how white people are made with fruit flies and inferior, made from canine DNA. Okay, let's debate then. Let's see who looks like they're made from fruit fly DNA. Let's do it. Anyway, Again, it's the Jesuits, you guys, all day, every day. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly who young Pharaoh works for. He's been able to get away with murder the whole time he's here. And some of you guys who said, well, you said he was all right in the past. You know what? I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Most black people blame Whitey. It's all part of their programming. But just watching this go on years after year, how all these black guys get on YouTube and just blame Jews and talk all this shit, make all these racially divisive remarks, and YouTube never strikes them, never takes down their channels. It's bullshit. I've had my channel deleted 19 times. You know what I mean? Putting out real content to unite humanity against the real enemy, destroyed. These people can get on and spread racial hatred, lie all day. They get to climb up to 500,000 subscribers. Do the math, people. You got to be a moron to not see what's going on. But again, you guys, also, it's not an accident that the Nets, who are originally from New Jersey, and you get this death of this New Jersey player on LeBron's birthday. None of this is an accident. It's just all how they do it. So if you can add 2 plus 2, you know what I'm saying. Okay, Dalvin Cook, his dad dead yesterday, December 29th. Remember I told you back in the George Floyd days? I said it'll be interesting to watch what rituals they do with the Minnesota Vikings this year and George Floyd, and it's been a season full of tributes and rituals. But Minnesota Vikings, there's only 2 teams in the whole league that have a connection to 201. Minnesota Vikings is 201, and Indianapolis is 201. Indianapolis is also 123 the other way, which is why we like the Steelers to become 12-3 against Indy, which they did this weekend. But again, his dad's dead on 12/29, the 201st prime. Minnesota Vikings 201, the Jesuit Order 201. What age is his dad dead at? 46? Catholic 46? Haven't we been talking all year about how Beau Biden died at age 46, 201 days from the Jesuit Pope's birthday, and that's why Joe Biden would become the 46th president-elect 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday? Again, that's why you need to understand the numbers and the patterns, because they'll use them in a murder ritual, they'll use it in rigging a sports game, they'll use it in rigging an election. They'll use all these patterns in these different ways, but it's clear how they do it. Not to mention the Minnesota Vikings just played the Saints on Christmas Day, the first time ever that the NFL has moved a game to Christmas Day. And you see why they did it in 2020. This is the Catholic takeover year. Again, coronavirus is a big Catholic Jesuit agenda, so are all these other things. But this year they've made it so crystal clear. And again, Dalvin Cook's dad, dead on the most perfect day. The news is in the headlines in the news today on the 12/30 day, so it's another 42 thing. But his dad died yesterday at age 46, Catholic 46, sacrifice 46. Today's 12 plus 30, 42, Jesuit 42, Jackie 42. If you missed all the work earlier this year on Jackie Robinson and the Jesuits and Chadwick Boseman's death on Jackie Robinson Day at age 42, even though they changed his age to 43 afterwards because Robinson equals 43. Again, go back and look at all that. Just so redundant. And look at what else is also going on with the name Dalvin Cook. 56, like the Society of Jesus. How old is he right now? 25. His dad died on his 142nd day of his age. Coronavirus is 142. They're not putting out a cause of death for his dad, but if they end up saying coronavirus, well, there's another 142 coronavirus ritual, just like how the NBA season was suspended in the coronavirus ritual on the 142nd day of the season before it was resumed 142 days later, and so on and so forth. Not to mention Rudy Gobert, who it was blamed on. Probably my favorite coronavirus 56 ritual of the year was Rudy Gobert helping the Utah Jazz improve to 5-6 in the NBA bubble exactly 56 days after his birthday, where he was the leading scorer for that game. And yes, we did predict it before it happened. It was a nice game because, as I recall, it played 3-1 that game, the Utah Jazz upset. So Rudy Gobert, 56 days after his birthday. Utah Jazz, 5-6 in the bubble. Oh, I don't have it up here, but coronavirus is 56. So Black Lives Matter, 56. But this is what it is to play in the rigged National Football League. You want the fame, you want the big money. Better be ready to give up daddy, mommy, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your whole family, because that's what these guys do. That's what they do. And then again, on the 56th thing, we just covered Luke Harper's death, the wrestler, and we talked about how his name equaled 56, the number of the year, and I mean, just look at it. Let me just read it. Amanda Huber, the widow of WWE and AEW star John Huber, better known as Luke Harper and Brody Lee, returned to the Instagram early Tuesday morning with a heartfelt tribute And realize this was yesterday, the 1229 date, 1229, the 201st prime, the Jesuit Order 201, Society of Jesus 56, which is the Jesuit Order. Tuesday morning with a heartfelt tribute for her late husband. Lee passed away at the age of 41, super hot number right now, just like the congressman who died 56 days after the election from coronavirus, supposedly, at the age of 41 over the weekend. So Huber decided to share a quick video of him playing with their son before sharing their final text conversation. Huber wrote, "It's been 56 hours. 56 hours since you left. It's been weird navigating this storm without you." She had to write 56 twice so you don't miss it. That's the mockery, you guys. That's the mockery. But again, Luke Harper, his more known wrestling name 56, like Society of Jesus, again, dead on 12/29. How many more 56 201 things do we need to do this year? You know what I mean? How many more do we need? And somebody in the comments, when I did the videos, pointed out that he went to a Jesuit high school. Right here, Jonathan Huber was born December 16th, 79. Remember, Society of Jesus the other way, 79. It's 56 forward, 79 in reverse. Like Anthony Fauci equals 56, and the pandemic was declared March 11th, his 79th day of being 79 years old. Again, Jesuits running it all. But John Huber was born December 16th, 1979 in Rochester, New York. They had a big Jesuit Black Lives Matter shooting recently. 56 coded all over it. He attended McQuaid Jesuit High School and played lacrosse for 4 years. He also played hockey in independent youth leagues. I would not want to get cross-checked by that guy. So again, I mean, the fingerprints are everywhere. Could it be any more obvious? Could it be any more obvious who's behind all of this, you guys? How come the whole truth community is not talking about this? How come Brian at High Impact Vlogs recently uploaded a video in his car saying that he loves me and he wants to work together with me all of a sudden, but still hasn't mentioned a word about gematria? He did that right after his whole community was calling him out for selling masks. It was like he was trying to gain some leverage with them by giving a shout out to me out of nowhere. It's like, dude, don't use my name to try to gain some grace with your subscribers who are seeing right through you right now, man. He has room in every video for 2 30 to 1 minute 30-second to 1 minute advertisements, but just can't say a thing about gematria and acknowledge how the Jesuits operate by this. But he'll always bring up, I don't know why he wants me to talk about gematria. I mean, that's his thing. Is that how it is? It's my thing? Or is this the way that the world elite are operating and mocking us every day? Again, and you guys get mad at me. Zach, I don't know why you got to talk about these other channels. I don't know. Actually, I do know. Never mind. I'm not going to misspeak. I know why you guys leave those comments. Because my intelligence is here, and your intelligence is probably somewhere right around here, but I'm probably being too generous. Why do you guys support these shills that don't bring jack shit to the community? I'm sorry, reading news headlines and just reading news headlines and selling flashlights and basement snacks that store for 25 years? That's not anything. That's not anything. There's a bad agenda against us, but I'm never going to name who's responsible or how they operate. That's not anything. But that's this fake truth community that so many of you are deceived by. I like your work, Zach, but I mean, I like other people's channels too. Okay. But are they doing anything? Are they helping out with anything? Are they showing anything? Are they proving anything? No. Trust me, I know the answers to those questions. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that the name of his high school equals 112 in the most pure cipher, just like how the Jesuits operate in 112 nations. And why? Because Catholicism's 112, mathematics is 112, the Vatican was established on 11/2. Look at Catholicism and mathematics. Look at it. You see how it's the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers? The exact same in 3 out of the 4. And it's got that infamous 68 there, like how the Club of Rome was formed in 68, like how all that stuff went down in 68. And you know what else? Isn't World Trade Center 185? It sure is. Just like how construction began in 68. It's always making more observations. And that's why more people have to know about this knowledge. The more people that know about this, the more observations are made, the more dots are connected. That's the way it works. So again, 56 in the Jesuits. Remember, yesterday in the headlines on the 12/29 date, the 201 date, just like I show in the book, number games, 9/11 to coronavirus. I talk about Breonna Taylor in there, George Perry Floyd 201, how George Floyd and Breonna Taylor are both Jesuit rituals, fake deaths, fake stories meant to divide the populace, which is absolutely 100% what they are, totally fictional stories, meant to provoke. But the Breonna Taylor thing happened March 13th, 2020, a date with 56 numerology, Black Lives Matter 56, Society of Jesus 56, Coronavirus 56, I Can't Breathe, come on you guys. I Can't Breathe, Coronavirus, Black Lives Matter, straight mockery, come on. But anyway, she's a big Jesuit ritual, and then on the 12/29 date, you get a big update in her case. Again, could it be any more obvious who's behind all this crap? Because that's what it is, crap. Newly elected congressman dies after battling COVID-19. And of course he's 41, the hot number right now, but again, dead 56 days after the election on the 12/29 date. You know? All this 56 all year with coronavirus. That's the short list right there. And again, he came out of Louisiana, which equals 38, like Colorado's 38, like pandemic's 38, like how on this same day they said the 56% more infectious strain showed up in Colorado, you know. And not to mention, we had the date circled and ready for a big coronavirus headline that day. You know, just too predictable. Too predictable. Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation. You know, Brian always going, I don't know why he wants me to talk about gematria. I mean, that's his thing. Well, I mean, just what a disingenuous statement. What is he, retarded? He doesn't understand why I want more people to talk about the most important knowledge in the community? And then people always getting butthurt about that. I don't know if it's the most important knowledge in the community. Again, that's because your intelligence is right here and mine is out here, you see? This is the difference. That's why you don't know what I know. Realize that, spectator. I just got to be real, you guys. I'm sick of dumb people. I'm sick of living in bozo land, the idiocracy, just these retarded-ass people. Who in the community has a message that names names, shows how they operate, and proves it with evidence? Who? I know you can't answer that question. And for all of you guys leaving channels like the people who follow me and share this work, I'm not talking about them, you guys. God. That's how we're getting to the intelligence thing again. Not talking about the people whose channels are linked on my own channel. I mean, come on, you guys. I really do understand why Mark Passio turns off his comments. I really do. You know, it's just... But the reason I don't is because for every 100 just brain-dead comments, there's one really important one. And I'm not going to... Even though there's 100 morons that leave a comment, the one golden comment outweighs the 100 worthless comments. Again, 100 times 0 is 0. 1 times gold is gold. So, and by the way, Louisiana's got the 142 as well in it, like coronavirus. This guy was congressman-elect from Louisiana. And I hope there's some students down on the LSU campus that are decoding this in real time. We talked to well over 1,000 students in the days that we were at the LSU campus at the beginning of this year, including members of the football team, educating about this code because they won the college football championship this year and a whole bunch of people had to die for it. By the numbers. The coach at LSU, Ed Orgeron, his name's 56. He got his 56th win last year, winning the college championship. To start 2020. I shouldn't say last season, to start this year. The year of 56. And, again, this guy was diagnosed on the date with 70 numerology as well, December 18th, 2020. Coronavirus 56 forward, 70 in reverse. And, again, just like how yesterday we talked about, on the same day that he died, Kamala Harris got the coronavirus vaccine 70 days after her 56th birthday. This guy's name, Luke Letlow, also 53 like COVID. So, okay, and also the Petula Clark thing, talked about this yesterday. If you missed yesterday's video, the one point, okay, real quick. Again, from her birthday to the day of this bombing in Nashville, Christmas Day was her 41st day of her age. And the latest detail is that the RV was playing her song Downtown, which came out in 1964, 56 years before 2020. Just like how Donald Trump began his Jesuit education in 64, 56 years before 2020. Jesuit puppet Donald Trump. But again, her 41st day of her age, they coded 41 all over this attack. They said 41 businesses damaged. You know, that same day, Alvin Kamara, the Saints, number 41, went off, tying Gale Sayers' record, who died earlier this year by the numbers. And he played his college ball at Tennessee. He wore number 6 there. He scored 6 touchdowns on Christmas on the day, leaving 6 days left in the year. But there was all this 41 stuff. Supposedly the family that knew the bomber, the Schmoltz, their name is 41. And again, just what are the odds that it comes on her 41st day of her age? Not to and then all these other 41 stories we've covered. The congressman yesterday, the wrestler. There's been a few others. Just 41's been popping up everywhere. And remember how special that number 41 is. It's the 13th prime number. USA equals 41, 13 stripes, 13 colonies, 13 years of public school programming, turning the average person into the mental midget that they are. You want to know why America's so dumb? Look no further than the chemical poisoning and what we call the education system, which is nothing but an indoctrination system meant to make you obedient to authority and a good mental slave. That is the only real purpose of the U.S. education system. And try out the word Jesuit in the word school, or actually Jesuit order in school. Try that out sometime. Jesuit order, school. But notice the song Downtown has that 38 like Christmas, like death. If you run it the other way around, Downtown, it's also 8. Whoops, got to spell downtown right. Downtown's also got the 88 in it. You know, she was 80. It happened on her 41st day of being 88 years old. We had Casey Jones dead by the numbers at age 88 on Christmas. We had another wrestler dead at 88 on Christmas. The word poison's 88 just makes me wonder about that. But anyhow, this song and her age, it's obvious why they chose her song, because she just met the numbers for the ritual. I'm sure there's a handful of other songs out there they probably debated between playing, but they realized that, you know, it was most perfect with her. And her name, Petula Clark, is also 39 like Nashville. And by the way, the girlfriend of the fictional bomber, because again, this guy is straight from thispersondoesnotexist.com, no doubt about it. But the supposed girlfriend that they got a story on today, Pamela Perry, her name's 167, the 39th prime. And but Petula Clark's got that 39 connection. Remember, that's a special number. That's a biblical number. 39 books in the Old Testament. Masonry's 39. Secrecy's 39. Of course, New York's 39, and we talked about the parallels to 9/11 in this. 9/11 had everything to do with AT&T, just like how they said this bombing impacted AT&T and took down the communications lines. And supposedly he was a 5G conspiracy theorist. But that term pop song, you know, just like in the headline that they say, the haunting pop song. Pop songs got that gematria of 102 and 39. This word that I can't pronounce, I've never used this word before. Presaged, I don't know. But that word's got gematria of 39 as well, and 141 like Nashville. But the big omission that I had in this was that her song was put out by Warner Brothers. Just like how on the day of the bombing, Warner Brothers put out Wonder Woman, who has a relationship in the comic book with Batman. And remember, Wonder Woman came out in 1941, right? 41, Warner Brothers, Anthony Quinn Warner. Warner Brothers just merged with AT&T. Isn't it so obvious how they do this with the news and the fiction? And again, you guys, if you're the person out there who has like some couch potato parent or significant other or sibling, and you try to show them this and they say, I don't listen to YouTube videos. I don't get my information from the internet. Just realize, I mean, that person is like, again, they're chemically retarded. They're mind controlled. They're in some form of hypnosis. They have zero critical thinking skills. And my advice to you is, whether they're friends, family, significant other, get rid of them. You know, you don't want to be around these people. You know, you don't want to be around these people. These people are fucking worthless. Some people get hurt by that, but it's true. They're fucking worthless, you guys. They are fucking worthless. Know that. They're the reason we're so fucked right now. No evidence, no facts, no reasoning resonates with them all that they resonate with are lies and propaganda. You know? Warner Brothers, just and just the name Warner Brothers too, because isn't that what they're always doing with their media, just putting in their predictive programming? Always warning us what's coming next. How about this GOP senator to delay affirming Biden victory by forcing votes on electoral college results? Again, think about how much money these people are paid. Think about how good their health care is. Just how much money we spend on assholes like this that just do this meaningless shit every single day. You know, after 9/11, when I was doing research, I would watch C-SPAN. I would watch C-SPAN to see what my elected officials were up to, and I just could not believe it. I was like, look at these worthless, sorry-ass motherfuckers. Just bringing up the most nonsensical bullshit. Today I want to bring to the floor to recognize this Florida radio show host who was talking about why we should never burn flags. And then they're all like voting aye if he should get like some acknowledgement. Or it's like, what the fuck is this? I mean, the country's under attack by obviously our own government, and these are the types of things you guys are doing. Should we recognize the radio show host in Florida who 2 weeks ago said that people who burn the flag should be thrown in prison? It's like, what the fuck is this? Turn on C-SPAN and watch what goes on in Congress every day. It's shit just like that. You'll be like, oh my God, why do these people even have a job? These guys do anything besides just meaningless actions? And the answer is no. Well, I guess the other thing they do is they sell us out constantly. You know, take away our rights and liberties, figure out how to siphon off more money for the wealth, shift more of the tax burden to the poor and working class. Doesn't matter if they're Republicans or Democrats. It's what they all do. Every last one of them. Talk out of both sides of their mouths, full of shit. But anyway, this sack of shit... Oh, I see he's from Missouri, too. He's the 42nd Attorney General of Missouri. How'd I miss that? Missouri's got that 42, just like Ferguson. Remember when we were talking about that? All the 42s all over Ferguson, Missouri. But this guy was the 42nd Attorney General as well. And notice he's in the headlines on December 30th, 12/30, 12 plus 30, 42. But that's not all. That's not all. Look at his name. Josh Hawley, 144. How much have we been talking about 144 in the rigged election? Again, on June 12th, at Jesuit Georgetown, it was simulated a close election where Trump loses and refuses to concede and says the election was stolen from him, just like how he was even saying in the debates. At the same time, he was saying, I've done more in 47 months than you've done in 47 years when he hadn't been in office for 47 months after how many straight years of educating about 47 in the presidency. While Biden's been in D.C. for 47 years, as he does become president-elect. But again, 144 days before the election on June 12th at Jesuit Georgetown, these are all facts, look it up. This simulation took place doing exactly what I just said happened, because that's exactly the truth. 144 days, a simulation where Trump loses and refuses to concede, and it ends up leading to violence in the streets leading up to inauguration. So we're still waiting to see if that happens, but that's all part of this simulation, and as accurate as their simulations often are, it's very possible that we do get that headline eventually, that there's some deadly confrontation, some protest where people go at it, kill each other, shoot each other. Think about how they could use that. Another excuse to disarm America. Again, that's how these people operate. They simulate what they're going to do, and then with their propaganda, they use the propaganda to take away more rights and liberties. But this guy's name, 144, and I haven't even showed you what his name equals the other way. We're not even done with this. But first the 144, and not to mention in that simulation, they compare it to the election of Rutherford B. Hayes, which was in 1876, 144 years ago. This is why they picked this clown, Josh Hawley, to do this today. His name the other way is 126. What day did they simulate at Jesuit Georgetown? June 12th. June 12th. And the Jesuits do like this 126 number. Ask Kobe Bryant about it, who died on a 126 date. You know, traveling from Catholic Mass, which equals 201. But the Jesuits have the Knights Templar cross in their logo. And the Knights Templar, one of their mottos is, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory, which equals 701, which is the 126th prime number. And again, from the death of the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, to the day that Diego Lainez replaced him was 701 days later. 701. And you see how Diego Lainez replaced him on 7-2? 7-2. Remember, the Jesuits were formed August 15th, 1534, a date with 72 numerology. Jesuit orders got that 144 in it and 72. And look at President Biden. 72 and 144. Look at President Trump. Got the 72 in it. Again, Joe Biden's from Jesuit Scranton, and Donald Trump's Jesuit educated. And they're actors. They're puppets. They serve this cabal, and that is all. So again, he's the 42nd AG in Missouri, which equals 42, and he does this stunt on 12 plus 30, 42. And of course, Jesuit. Just Jesuit alone is 42. So, you know, Brian would do a video right now. It would have a minute of flashlight. Dude, look how cool this flashlight is. You can charge it and put it on your counter. Buy this flashlight, put my code in there, and then at the end, buy some basement snacks. Every time I get some more fiat notes, I buy more basement snacks because we all know we need 5,000 years worth of basement snacks. Jesus, who wants to live in their basement eating basement snacks? How about Brian? Can you take 15 seconds to just say, hey, check out this gematria thing? I mean, you could really lay this out in 15 seconds and point people where to go. You see any of these big channels ever pointing in my direction? Only if they're talking shit. Again, R.I.P. Jeff C., right where he belongs, in the dirt. Another piece of shit who tried to discredit this work when I had a small channel. For all of you guys who don't understand it, Jeff C. had been here a long time and had a big channel with his one-eye symbolism, just like a call for an uprising, two pieces of shit who went after me for exposing this knowledge. And again, to see people praising him and saying he was a great voice in this community, bullshit. Another worthless voice in this community. The only value he had is that he was funny. And it is important to be funny. Everyone needs a laugh right now and then. But you know what? Being funny only gets you so far. To put down actual knowledge that proves who's responsible and how they're operating, and to lie about it and to slander it, that makes you a human piece of shit, which is what Jeff C. was. Which is what most of these truth channels are. A bunch of frauds. Just get sick of people repping these frauds, leaving comments about how they like me and some fraud. If you like me and some fraud, you're half retarded. Period. I'm not here for friends. I don't care about your subscription. My subscribers don't even get notifications anyway. So, I don't care. All I care about is figuring out a way to make this shit go viral so we can overthrow it all. Okay, how about this story today on 1230? Another vaccine story with 42, but this one's a goodie. Vaccinated U.S. nurse contracts COVID-19. Experts say Pfizer shot needed more time. Wow, this is straight from CladeX and Event 201. The simulations put on by the exact same people where they rush out vaccines that are ineffective, and in CladeX, they hurt people. In CladeX, the vaccines do more damage. Now, how does this fit in? Look how bullshit this story is. Well, hold on. Okay, so this news comes today, December 30th, And, of course, it's 12 plus 30, 42. From the day the pandemic was declared to today's exactly 42 weeks later. Exactly 42 weeks. It's the 30th. Vaccine is 30 in the most pure cipher, 42 in the reverse. Again, Donald Trump, the Jesuit puppet, on May 15th, 28... Or not May... Whoops, that's supposed to say May 15th, 2020. May 15th, 2018 was the day of CladeX. May 15th, 2020 is what that should say, was the day that Donald Trump announced Operation Warp Speed, which was to rush out vaccines and have them administered by the military. That was 30 days before Trump's June 14th birthday, which is the flag's birthday. But again, vaccine 30 and 42, we've talked about it all year. I've put these patterns in the book so people understand to look out for these numbers, which have been popping up everywhere in December with all the vaccine news. And again, on this day, 42 weeks after the pandemic, just mockery. Okay, Pfizer's rushed out vaccines, ineffective. Big surprise. The company that's really known for doing more harm to the world with medicine than anything else. And, look at how they put out is this his real name? The nurse's name, and I checked multiple articles. They all say the same thing, Matthew W. So I don't know if his last name's really supposed to be W. Isn't that like a hotel chain, the W? But Matthew W. Anyway, look at the gematria of his name, 113, just like Clade X, just like coronavirus pandemic, which was declared March 11th, and then this news comes 42 weeks later. Remember, Clade X was May 15th, 2018, 15/5. Coronavirus is also 155 if you just use the alphabetic order, and that was 666 days before the pandemic was declared. Vaccination in Sumerian gematria is 666, and a big focus of that simulation, rushing out vaccines that do nothing and which hurt people. You think Brian's going to cover it? Nope, he's got to sell more flashlights, More flashlights. Everybody needs to buy their flashlights and have their bathroom snacks or their basement snacks or whatever you want to call them. You can eat them on the toilet. You can eat them in the basement. They'll store for 25 years. And think about that, you guys. Do you really even want to be eating food that can store in a bucket for 25 years? You think that food's good for you? You think it is? There's a reason I don't sell any of these products, you guys. I don't want to sell these products. I don't believe in these products. Sell food that lasts for 25 years. Imagine how good that is for you. These vaccines are probably better for you, to be perfectly honest. So, and I'm not joking about that. I mean, food that stores for 25 years, that's not food. That might make your stomach feel full. It might keep you alive if you really are. It might keep you alive if you really are in Fallout world and there's fucking nothing else to eat. But shit, you guys, we're going to end up in that world if people don't start sharing this knowledge and who's responsible. You know what I mean? And if we do end up in that world, I'd honestly rather be dead. I would rather be dead than hunkering down in my basement eating my 25-year-old storable food. I'm sure that would be a great fucking existence. Well, at least I can recharge my battery and eat my basement snacks. God. By the way, just how they name all this shit. Oxford AstraZeneca. 78 and 93 like Wuhan coronavirus. How many times have we talked about all these numbers? It just never ends, does it? It never ends. So yeah, in case you guys missed that, the AstraZeneca vaccine was approved today in the UK on the 42 date, just like how the first vaccines went live December 8th on Bill Gates' 42nd day of his age, Mr. Vaccine, who again was born for it because he has the same birthday as Jonas Salk. His first birthday was Jonas Salk's 42nd birthday, who gave us the polio vaccine, and on that day on live TV, Elvis Presley got the polio vaccine on Bill Gates' birthday, on Jonas Salk's 42nd birthday, which was in 1956. Remember where Elvis recorded his songs at? Sun Record Studios. What's the Jesuit logo? The sun. And again, also yesterday, this 56% more infectious strain arrives in Colorado, which makes zero sense because there's no direct flights from the UK to Colorado, and some asshole will say, well, maybe it is other places too, but they just first detected it in Colorado. I always hate you guys the most. The people in my comments trying to make excuses for this bullshit. Can you please get the fuck out of here? My God, where do you dumbasses come from? What have I been telling you this whole time? What have I been telling you the whole time I've been here? Everything in the mainstream is bullshit. Every single headline is contrived by a code. And have I been wrong? Or have I proven it every single day for 7+ years? If you don't know the answer to that, it's the latter. And you can look it up because it's a fact. And I've also been saying the whole time we're all going to be fucked by 2020 if we don't overthrow this tyranny. Realize I was saying that many years in advance. Many years in advance. 2020 was 19 years after 2001. The moon, the 19-year cycles, chaos 19, order out of chaos. COVID-19, 20 years, 19 years later. It's just, oh, man. Some guy was leaving these long... I hate these fucking trolls that come here with their fake Christian names. Some guy with the name Yeshua, some bullshit, spamming his bullshit yesterday, like, I don't like your attitude, and I don't really see the point of this, and can you even predict anything? It's just like, dude, come over to my house, because I need some more fertilizer for my garden. Yeah, but again, why they chose Colorado for this bullshit yesterday on 12/29, the 201st prime, like Event 201, the pandemic simulation. Again, Colorado's the 38th state, pandemic 38, Colorado 38. The pandemic whistleblower Li Wenliang died on the 38th day of this year. All jokes by the numbers. And again, from the day that the pandemic was declared to the day that we get the more infectious strain, 293 days after 113, again, coronavirus pandemic, 293 and 113. Just clockwork. And again, every single number that I'm talking about is laid out in several other rituals that have gone on this year in my book, which you can download totally free. Again, if you cannot afford my book, I want you to have it. Just go to my Patreon page, scroll back to Christmas Eve, December 24th. You can download the whole ebook. And you can also download my first book, Letters and Numbers. And I suggest everybody read the first chapter of my first book. I still think that's my favorite chapter of anything I've written. My first chapter of my first book. Okay. Again, I won't bore you with everything we covered yesterday, but I will put this back up here about how the new strain's 56% more infectious. Again. And this one comes from the UK, where the first person to get the vaccine was Maggie Keenan, 56. And just notice how right after they start vaccinating people, all of a sudden there's a new strain. Yeah, the 56th list, it's a long one, so... And then again, in very Catholic Argentina, where Pope Francis is from, the first Jesuit pope, and don't forget what they did on the day of the total solar eclipse in Argentina, things that only happen like once every 100 years. On that day, the total solar eclipse, where a corona was shown in Argentina, in Latin America, that's the day they began vaccinating in the U.S. You can understand why coronavirus, the ritual was for 2020, the year of corona, the corona, because of the eclipse, in Pope Francis' native Argentina. Again, the first Jesuit pope, the Jesuits into astrology, into all this occult knowledge. It's just so clear. It couldn't be any more clear. Have you heard any of these shield channels connect any of these dots? I haven't heard anyone do it, you know. Brian's always over there with his latest video titled, What the Fuck? But he titles it WTF, and then he's going over some bullshit, just some stupid-ass story that's nothing about nothing, connecting nothing to nothing. But hey, every time he makes a video, it's another chance to sell some more flashlights, some more t-shirts, some more basement snacks. So the vote in Argentina, I looked up their country. There's 72 members of their Senate. 72, right? And the vote was 38-29. That's 67 people, so that means 5 people didn't vote. And it's clear to see why they did this 38-29. We're talking about abortion of babies. Of course, death is 38. Abortion has everything to do with death. And I'm not going to call abortion murder. I know a lot of people call abortion murder, and you can think that and believe that if you want, and maybe you're right. The reason I don't want to call it murder is because there's a lot of women in this world that do get abortions for reasons that I think are valid. They're raped, you know, they already have too many children, and they can't take care of them, and their children are already living a very horrible life. And somebody will say, well, they need to bring that child in the world because and give it a shot. Okay, maybe you're right. I mean, I'm not even going to debate about that because maybe I'll just acknowledge that maybe you're right. But I can understand why some people choose to have an abortion, especially if they're raped. And I did used to work in a teen homeless shelter, and I had a young 15-year-old girl. She was a young black girl, and she'd been raped. And I forget how many months pregnant. She was pretty pregnant. She had a nice big round belly. And she was going to have that baby. She didn't believe in abortion. She wanted to bring the child into the world. She said things happen. And she was a very mature person. Very mature, impressive person. And, you know, she seemed like she'd be a great mother. You know, she didn't choose that baby, but she wanted to bring it in the world. You know, those were her spiritual beliefs. I think people should be able to make their own decisions. Another 15-year-old girl, she might not have it. She might not be ready to raise a child. And for all of you who say, well, you can put a baby up for an adoption, okay, talk is cheap, you guys. You ever been to a group home? There's a lot of unwanted children, you guys. There's a lot of unwanted children living very miserable lives. And honestly, you survey those children, they might tell you they'd rather not be alive because they are living a very miserable, horrific existence. And a lot of people have no idea about any of this because they've never been in a group home. They don't realize how common these things are. But anyway, the reason that they're having this ritual about the abortion in Argentina, of course, it's by the numbers, and it's just so symbolic. We're just days from the start of 2021 when Agenda 21 is supposed to go into place, which is about figuring out ways to reduce population, reduce consumption, reduce traffic, reduce emissions, reduce the carbon footprint. It's just so obvious. The Jesuits are behind Agenda 21 and 2030, which we've laid out many times. That was one thing I didn't cover in the book that I wish I had. I mean, I should have covered that a lot more. I think I barely touched on it, but not nearly enough. And I'm working on another book right now that will come out this spring, if we're still here by then. But yeah, I mean, it's just so obvious why they're doing this in Argentina, a predominantly Catholic country. And we know who the most opposed are to abortion. It's absolutely the Catholics. You always see those Catholic bumper stickers. But this vote, 38 to 29, why 67 votes? This has to do with the feminine, right? International Women's Day each year is March 8th, 3/8, the 67th day of the Gregorian calendar year, which of course was given to us by the Catholic Church. The word female in Jewish gematria is 67. Remember, just using the most simple cipher, female, lady, bitch, they all sum to 42. Today's 12 plus 30, 42. So you have this feminine number in the vote that syncs up with International Women's Day, and you have this feminine date. But that's not all. You look at the president. The president, his upcoming birthday is on 4/2, and from this vote to his birthday is 94 days. 94 days. Abortion in the most simple cipher is 94. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, it's 122. And this is happening while Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope from Argentina, is in office. Pope Francis is 122. Again, so is San Francisco, which is on the 122nd Meridian West, and Pope Francis is named after St. Francis of Assisi, just like San Francisco is. Don't forget Roe v. Wade in the U.S. was decided January 22nd, 122, 122. And, again, the Jesuits are absolutely satanic. Again, I'm not saying that if you've had an abortion, you're satanic. I don't want to be misinterpreted, but these people are absolutely satanic, and I know this is also part of the reason that they had 67 votes. Satanic 67 forwards, 122 in reverse, just like abortion's 122 in that cipher. And like I've said before, the only real reason that people have abortions in this world, like even young girls who get raped, I think a lot of them would be a lot more willing to bring their child into this world if it was a different world. If they knew they had community and resources and people who cared about them. A lot of people don't have any of those things. They don't have resources. They have no community. It's that phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. Who has a village anymore? Hardly anyone in the Western world. Pretty much no one. So it's a satanic world is what we live in. And I mean, God, why are people out raping anyway? I mean, again, if we didn't have all this religion and these false beliefs, I'm telling you, there'd be way less rape. I think almost all rapes are in a way connected to all of the false spiritual teachings we get. Mostly what religion teaches people is that the things that are good that God gave us are bad. The beautiful plants that can open the mind, those are evil. Sex is bad. God must have screwed up, right? Human anatomy, giving boys erections when they're 12, 13, 14, physical attraction to other girls their period. God must have just made a mistake, right? It's all a mistake. God doesn't know what he's doing. He made young people, he gave them the ability to have sex, but they're not supposed to do that. That's evil, right? Isn't that what it teaches in these religions? Just so evil, unless you follow the rules, you know. You go get the document and you sign up with your government and let them know so that if there's ever a problem with the relationship, they can charge you all this money to undo it, right? That's the way God intended it, right? Did God invent paper, by the way, and ink? Are those things God made or are those things man-made? Man figure out how to make paper? Or... Anyway, I think I'm making my point. So... And the other thing I'm saying to you guys is if, again, it's the person that's denied their sexuality for all these years that probably ends up raping a woman. For all the years who denying their sexuality and, you know, just having all these beliefs and, you know, I feel like just one day they boil over and then, you know. So... I just don't understand it. I mean, it's really not that hard to get laid. You know, it's really not. You don't even have to be good looking. I seen, when I was down at ASU, there's just a plethora of beautiful women and not enough good looking guys. Man, I've seen some of the most busted dudes with the finest women ever. Have some confidence in yourself, boys. Have some confidence. Go say hello, you know, just start up a friendly conversation, present yourself as a gentleman, open the door, you know, say something nice, give a little compliment. I'm telling you, you're already halfway to the goal line. You don't need to be raping anybody. Not at all. So, but yeah, again, this is all about population control, you guys. Agenda 21. It's all population control. Again, this whole year, coronavirus. Didn't they start to make laws in certain areas that you're not supposed to have sex with people? Didn't one country try to say, like, have sex with a mask on or something? You got your face condom. Oh, my God. But just imagine, I want to see the stats this year from 2020. How many less babies were made this year? I'm sure it was a huge cut down in the amount of babies. I had a gentleman recently call me up, and he said, check out that new movie with Ryan Gosling, Blade Runner 2049. You know, he has the virtual girlfriend. He says, notice in the background of when they show the city, you see the big Atari lit up. I guess Atari is working on some serious virtual reality stuff right now, you guys. You think there might be an Atari comeback? You think Blade Runner 2049 is telling us? Atari's stock is shooting through the roof because everybody's got on their virtual goggles. Atari's doing advertisements. You don't need to jerk off to the computer screen anymore. Now we got a much more realistic experience. And then this way, you drastically reduce your odds of catching the COVID. It's like straight out of Encino Man. Imagine if you could see the whole world at once, like 1 billion people with headsets on masturbating, guys stroking it, girls with their, you know, dildos. It's like, oh my God, look at this world they've given us. This is what happens when man plays God right here. Mass masturbation. Awesome. Okay, Saudi Arabia back on the scene. At least 22 killed after explosion at Yemen airport at Saudi Arabia's new power sharing government arrives in town. So this is today. Explosion at an airport. What else is new? How many times have we covered one like this over the years? But what a perfect day to bomb Yemen. Today's 12/30/20, date with an abbreviated numerology of 62, which is also a sacrifice number. But Yemen 62, it's not the first time we've covered a Yemen explosion story on a 62 date. It's happened before. And the day plus the month, 42. Explosions also 42. Of course, Jesuits 42. The Jesuits instigated the world wars, reshaped the Middle East, and been keeping the people divided by the code ever since. Don't forget Saudi Arabia, Israel. They're really just extensions of the Jesuit empire, just like the United States of America is, just like Britain is. All roads lead to Rome. By the way, this comes on a Wednesday. Wednesday's got that gematria 44, like military, like execution, like kill. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, they just said that Yemen and Saudi Arabia, they just last week they agreed to these new terms, this new alliance between governments. Today, the Saudi Arabia officials were coming back into town, and then boom, 22 people killed, but none of them having to do with the government officials, right? So not the government officials, they're not hurt. If anybody was really killed, it's just the people who were in that airport today. Wrong place, wrong time. And truth be told, 95% of them would probably say like, oh, I don't listen to conspiracy theories and tinfoil hats. So is it really a loss? Probably not. Keeping it totally real all the time now. It's still wrong, you guys, but I'm just saying, I mean, that first rule on the Georgia Guidestones, I couldn't endorse it anymore. For all of you idiots who say that I'm no different than the Illuminati, again, you're a complete moron. I'm for depopulation for different reasons than they are. I'm for depopulation because I see what it is. You know, I live in a society of worthless human beings who don't care about the truth, who all they do is care about themselves and materialism and bullshit, and are greedy and shitty people. And again, those are just facts, you guys. That describes 95% of humanity. If somebody says, well, who are you to judge? A much better person, that's who I am. Person who works his ass off every single day, you know, for the benefit of humanity, who's been doing that for a long time, that's who I am. Someone who's not greedy, someone who cares about the truth, someone who sees things for what they are. Yeah. So... And again, I don't want to control people and rule over them. I want to set them free. And we're only going to get free if we get rid of all these dumbasses that are dead weight dragging us all to hell. Let me flip it on you. You're no different than the Illuminati because you're, the pawns that they made that keep us all in hell. Take a look in the mirror. I'm not the problem. Okay, again, we got this fictional girlfriend for the fictional bomber, Pamela Perry, 167, the 39th prime, big Nashville number. Nashville's 102 like girlfriend. Pamela Perry's also 58 and 59, just like Freemasonry's 58 and 59. Pope Francis is 58 and 59, by the way. A lot of these Jesuits are Masons as well. He is a Jesuit. I don't know if he's officially a Mason, but he does that hidden hand, which is a very popular pose with the Masons. But it's also popular with the Jesuits. And again, Freemasonry is under the Jesuit umbrella, so it doesn't really matter. It's all connected. But in the story, the story today, what the story is about, besides him having a girlfriend, is that on August 21st, 2019, police received a call from an attorney representing Pamela Perry. The woman said she was the girlfriend of the bomber Anthony Warner, the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department said Tuesday. Her attorney, Raymond Throckmorton, said she had made suicidal threats to him via telephone. When police arrived at Perry's home, they found 2 unloaded pistols near Perry who said they belonged to Warner. She told officers she did not want them in the home any longer and that Warner was building bombs in the RV trailer at his residence. So don't you guys just see how this propaganda works? Isn't it just so obvious they got to bring guns into it? Because, again, eventually they will disarm us. I don't know how far off that is. But I did predict, many years ago that whenever the Democrats take back over, we're going to see, those things that they talked about in the 90s. The new gun laws, the new gun insurance, the new gun taxes to essentially make it unaffordable to have a gun in your home. That's the way they'll circumvent the Second Amendment. They'll just make it very expensive to own a gun. And then they'll collect even more money. Because isn't that what they love to do? Take away your rights and liberties and just collect more money? Isn't that how everything works with these people? That date, August 21st, 2019, was also a date with 68 numerology, and that's the big CIA number. We know it went down in 1968. It's also the 233rd day of the year, which is the 51st prime. Federal's 51, conspiracy's 51. In this case, when you run Nashville the opposite way, it's also 51. It's the day leaving 132 days left in the year. United States of America 132, Catholic 132. Never forget that the United States of America was named on September 9th, 1776, 132 days from the establishment of the Bavarian Illuminati on 5/1 May 1st by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And don't forget there's 132 rooms in the White House either. And it's named after Andrew White, the Jesuit. And again, Washington, D.C. used to be Rome on the Potomac, owned by Francis Pope, not to be confused with Pope Francis. Catholic Church 132, United States of America 132, 132 rooms in the White House. Isn't it also obvious? And the one thing that I keep thinking in 2020 is I kind of feel like I did a bad job my first 6.5 years, because I always contended that the Jesuits could be it. I was leaning more towards the false ones, the you-know-whos, and I kind of feel like looking back that was really, really bad on my part, because the evidence has been there. I got to admit, I had a little bit of bias and predisposition towards the you-know-whos, and it kind of blinded me from the truth. They are a big part of it. The Jesuits were formed by half you-know-whos who converted to Catholicism, but it is the Catholic Church and the Jesuits who are the top of the spear, and anyone who says otherwise won't have a case. Again, a lot of people like to blame Israel. I've always said that Israel's just a result of the world wars. I mean, you can't blame Israel. It's part of the ongoing agenda, but who was ultimately behind it, I really should have seen it sooner. So I should have been a lot more clear about it before 2020 is what I'm saying. It was obvious. It was there. So, and in my first book, I mean, I do make the case for both, but I definitely lean a little bit more towards the you-know-who's in the first book. In the second book, it's an all-out assault on the Jesuits. And again, Washington football team, they're ending their days of racism by changing their name from Redskins to football team, but look at this shit. I mean, how many rituals with the NFL and 42 and shaming black men have we covered over the years? It's mind-numbing how many there's been. And the latest is Dwayne Haskins. He's fighting over $4.2 million of his salary. He went out to the strip club right after his first big start there. And again, it's just that racial programming, you guys. Because you see, the racist who watches the NFL, especially probably the Washington football team fan, he's like, man, Dwayne Haskins gets a loss, and he's supposed to be our starter, and instead of going home and studying the film and the playbook and improving himself, he goes out to the strip club. What a stereotypical, oversexed black man. I'm surprised he didn't rape someone and beat someone and shoot someone tonight while he sold some cocaine. Because isn't this all the shit that they program the minds of everyone with these athletes, especially the black ones? That they're all gangsters and drug dealers and rapists and women beaters. I mean, so many stories like this over the years. But now he's fighting over the $4.2 million. And then Ron Rivera, he loses to his old team, the Carolina Panthers. And earlier this year, he beat Mike Tomlin, upsetting the Steelers' perfect season. And he was the last coach to start 11-0, and he did that the year of the Race War Super Bowl, where Cam Newton became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl in tribute to Huey P. Newton, who founded the Black Panthers, not to be confused with the Carolina Panthers with the Black Panther on their helmet. The Charlotte 49ers are the college football team there. They end up playing in the Super Bowl, hosted by the 49ers. They used to have the relationship with George Seifert, so on and so forth. But, again, the 42 list, the term racial slurs 42, the N-word's 42, Jackie's 42, slavery's 42, Tuskegee's 42, February's 42, Martin's 42, Malcolm X's 42, Muhammad Ali's 42, another Jesuit puppet. Muhammad Ali's also 201, by the way, people. LeBron James 42, born 201 days after the 1984 NBA Finals concluded, no doubt born in a test tube. His father is Nate Thurman, no doubt about it, who wore 42 for the Warriors and Cavs and who died 27 days after LeBron scored 27, winning the NBA Finals on the real King James's birthday. Of course, Nate Thurman died at 74, that infamous number. Black History on the Bus, 42, and the list goes on. I mean, there's a lot more, but again, I mean, I just don't know how people don't catch on. And, oh, look at his contract, a $14.4 million deal. Wow. 144, like Jesuit order, like Jesuit 42, Jesuit order 144. You know what? I've been meaning to do this for like 6 months and I haven't. I want to see if I can find this old post. Georgetown Slavery 42. Let me see this. Covered this like years ago. Georgetown Jesuits repent 179 years after the fact for slavery, April 18, 2017. What was it about this story? Georgetown's got the 42, like Jesuit, like slavery. Jesuits in Georgetown repent for slave trading 179 years later. Oh, that's the headline, which equals 237, which are the prime factors of 42. 2 times 3 times 7 is 42. Prime factorization, mathematical thing. This story came out on the 59 date numerology. Slave, Negro, Blues, Rostall, 59. Black History Month, February. February equals 42, ends on the 59th day of the year. except for in leap years. 179 is the 41st prime. USA 41. Yeah, cover this many years ago on my old blog. Yeah, if you guys don't go through my old website, there's a lot of important information there as well. So, again, we always had our eye on the Jesuits. I just wasn't sure if they were the boss. You know what one of my old quotes is? It's wrong, but there's an element of truth to it. Part of the reason also I used to think it was probably the you-know-who's even above the Jesuits, which I know is wrong now. But I used to say, I was like, do you know many smart Catholic people? Because I don't. But those you-know-who's, they do seem to have a few more IQ points. So, what the Jesuits do have, though, is they got the network. They got the history. They got the power. They got the influence. They got the ruthlessness. They got the low ethics. They got the willingness to lie, murder, cheat, steal. And they are known for being killers all throughout history. I mean, I've been educating about that since 2013, 2014, whenever I covered that 33-day Pope way back in the day. And, Blunt Man, when are you ever going to join Free to Find Truth? I do appreciate that you're always leaving these good comments, but I wish you would leave these comments on Free to Find Truth, because you know someday they're going to take down my channel, and then all the time you spend every single day leaving all these posts and comments, someday they're just all going to be deleted and gone. Again, you guys, freetofindtruth.com, totally free to sign up for. Super easy. Let me log out here so you can see what it looks like. When you go to the website, it looks like this. You just got to create an account, follow the steps, confirm the email that gets sent to your email address. If it doesn't show up in your email box, check your spam folder. I know it works real quick with Gmail. Not that I want to promote Google products, but a lot of things, again, you guys, Google's taken over the world, so a lot of things work best with Google things, Gmail, Google Chrome. I mean, you can always just set up an email account for your truth seeking and using it for nothing else, even just to register for this website one more time. So, but yeah, I Blunt Man, I wish you would just copy and paste everything you post every day, because I know you're always leaving good comments and good heads up. I wish you would just spam them on Free to Find Truth. And the thing is, if you spam it there's people there that in the community, they're just looking for other comments and to add to it and to build on it. So I notice you leave good comments, but how often do you ever get a response? It's usually just me who likes it and gives it a heart. I don't really see anyone responding to it. If you're looking for more interactivity, Free to Find Truth's a spot. And again, I don't mind that you post on YouTube. I think that's good because I do see your comments a lot there, but why not just copy and paste it right into Free to Find Truth? You make so many important finds. Honestly, when I made this website, Blunt Man, and I've said this before, I never hear you respond to this, but when I made this website, I was thinking about people just like you. People like you and Keenan and Stryker and all the people who leave good comments. And I haven't really seen any of you guys there. So, kind of makes me sad. You know, someday they're going to delete the channel again. It always happens. I'm on channel 20. They put me on channel 20 for 2020. Are they going to do me wrong at the start of 2021? Is the channel just going to blow up? Be gone again? I wouldn't be surprised. I will be annoyed, but I would not be surprised. So, where's my phone? Oh, it's right here. Let's open up the phone line here for just a moment. See if anybody else has any observations about what's in the news on 12:30. It's always a ripe day for headlines. I don't know if you guys can see out the window. Oh, it must be warming up now. Oh, yeah, it's definitely warming up fast. Wow. We got a lot of snow this morning, but I see it's already melting off the roofs in the street and everything. When I first started, I don't know if the glare was too much, but there was a lot of snow coming down. I thought that might be a nice backdrop, but maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't show up. So, all right. First call from New York. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
Did you see the news about Kobe yesterday? And you know what's so crazy about this news? The news broke before LeBron's birthday. They said that Kobe was about to break up with Nike. He's about to change the sneaker game.
Wait, like Kobe or LeBron?
It was a story about Kobe. Before he died, he was working way to break up with Nike.
Well, that makes sense that it was yesterday, because yesterday was the big Jesuit day, and Nike's got that Jesuit connection. Okay, I got to look that up. Cool.
But before, I didn't even do no Gematria. I said, it's before LeBron's birthday. Guess what they put in the story? 17 years with Nike. I said, Lakers 17th championship, LeBron's 17th season. 17, and it's killed, right? He got the 64 and the 44 right before LeBron's birthday. They bring this story about he's going to do his own. He would have changed the sneaker game if the way he would have left Nike that was talking about.
Well, it was also 12-29 too, right? 12 plus 29, 41. Mm-hmm. Kobe Bryant 41, dead on at 41. So, yeah, I didn't see that. Good heads up. I'm just measuring real quick to see how many days it was from his death to that story. It was, if you count the span of days, it was 339 days, which connects to the United States. Oh, you know what? It was 11 months and 3 days later. Kobe Bryant 113, the National Basketball Association 113. Yeah, that's interesting. So
think about what Kobe, before he died, he was about to go had that pharmaceutical lawsuit. Then he was about to go against Nike. It is just crazy, straight boule all the way.
Yeah. All ritualistic, too. I mean, it was so obvious that pharmaceutical thing was just all part of the coronavirus stuff, just like how they bury him in Corona Del Mar, and it's all ritual. What do you think? You think Kobe's really dead?
Who knows?
It's
the same thing like Prince. You know how I feel about Kobe? It's the same way I feel about Prince.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
But it was so crazy that when I saw the 17 years with Nike, that gave it away right there. 17 years with Nike.
Yep. That's absolutely right. Again, for people who don't know, remember, LeBron just won the Lakers their 17th championship in his 17th season after signing with them on 1/7 and coming from Ohio, the 17th state. And we knew it that day when he signed that he would be winning that championship in the season that he did. Just too ritualistic. And then, of course, Kobe dies that year as and it was all synced up with Kobe's death. I mean, the Lakers end up winning the finals on Father-Daughter Day, something none of us probably even knew existed before this season. It's just like, what a joke, man. What a joke.
So I just thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy. They put this story out before LeBron's birthday.
That reminds me that when LeBron won the finals on Father-Daughter Day, it was exactly 41 weeks after his birthday, like Kobe Bryant's 41, dead at 41. And now this on 12-29, 12 plus 29, 41, like you're saying, the day before LeBron's birthday. Yep.
Well, I'm just curious. I think they play today. I'm just curious what he's going to do today on his birthday.
He plays the Spurs today. So...
Oh, my God. When I think of the Spurs, you go back to when he was in high school with the George Gervin, Iceman jersey.
Exactly. And the commercial they had him do the other year. Remember the commercial the other year where he's just in a black and silver jersey? It doesn't say Spurs, but he's dribbling, and then he bends over, and his shorts split wide open. They tear in his butt crack. And that was the year he got humiliated in the finals, too.
Yeah. You
remember that commercial?
I remember that commercial.
Yeah, that was a few years back. So
I think it was some energy drink, or it was one of those. He got so many commercials.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was for. I don't know if it was for underwear or energy drink or what it was, but yeah, LeBron James, George Gervin jersey, the Iceman. So.
And now it makes sense why they kept showing the helicopter. They showed crashed with the white and blue helicopter, but they kept showing the Nike helicopter for when he retired. It all makes sense now, Zach.
Right? Yeah.
You remember they kept showing the black helicopter, but when they crashed, it was the white helicopter. And we said which helicopter it was.
Right.
They said that was just the black crap they put on the helicopter for when he retired.
Right. Hey, for another observation about the George Gervin jersey, he's number 44. Remember when LeBron signed that lifetime deal with Nike? Nike was 44 years old at the time. Nike was 44 years old when he signed the lifetime contract. So
I just wanted to bring up that point about Kobe. I just thought it was very interesting. They did it before LeBron's birthday. They could have brought this story out, Zach, right? Why they wait till before LeBron James' birthday to bring it out on the numbers?
Exactly. But I'm looking at this old picture of him, and the kid he's standing next to, I don't know who that is, but he's got a Nike T-shirt on, and it says "The Whole Truth," but it's missing the W, so it's like, what does the whole truth mean? It's like you got to go down the rabbit hole to find the truth. What's that T-shirt about?
I bet you put it in the gematria calculator, probably pop up some numbers will pop up probably.
Well, it's got a 56 in it, go figure. It's got a 61 in it, like finals. There's been a lot of 61 rituals with the finals, so. The whole truth. Yeah.
Yes, I won't leave that. I'll let you get some more calls in before you get up. But I just had to bring that Kobe up to you.
Appreciate it, man. Good heads up. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, see. Yeah, he's always got the great observations.
Hello?
Caller, you're on. What's up?
Hey, Zach. Gavin Newsom made the news today. His aide pleaded guilty to domestic violence or something, and also a new reportedly more infectious COVID-19 strain identified in California.
Oh, the same one that was in Colorado is now in California?
Yeah, I think they called it a super COVID-19.
I see that Newsom was once the 42nd mayor of San Francisco before becoming the state governor. I didn't notice that about him before. So, okay, on 1230, 12 plus 30, 42, we got the 42nd attorney general in the news in Missouri.
And Fauci was talking with him today, too. So the day that Fauci's there, now there's a new coronavirus strain.
Wow.
So maybe there's the date duration ritual.
Wow. Great. Yeah, I will look into that. Great catch.
Welcome. And, have you ever thought about bringing this, because you recently talked about the declaration and the 666 ritual with that. Have you ever, considered maybe, addressing the Native American community and maybe giving them this ammunition against the federal government?
Well, you know who does a great job of that? I mean, I've talked a little bit about Native Americans, but Kayla, if you go to my, how do you do it?
I follow her too.
Yeah, she's always doing great work on the Native American stuff. So, yeah, we got to get her some more subs. Let me see. How do I get to her channel? For people who don't know Kayla, let me see. How do I get there? What do I got to go to? Community? Is it the community tab? How do I get to her? Oh, there. If you go to my homepage and you scroll down, Kayla Decode Talker. She does really great work, and she's a lot sweeter than I am. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, I was thinking along the lines of, well, maybe we kind of do have to build a community somewhere, and maybe you're the kind of guy that can get something like that, make that happen. And I just thought about, maybe. Because I learned a lot about sacred medicines and stuff recently. So I realized that there's a whole lost history of medicine and science and spirituality that we got to reconnect to. And there is an avenue through Native Americans, and they have that language alive today. So we're dealing with a language barrier when it comes to the truth, as well as figuring out when you see it,
Indeed.
But I have another caller get in.
All right, appreciate it, man. You take care.
Welcome.
Caller?
Hey, Zach, this is Eric.
Hey, what's up, man?
Houston.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, I got two things real quick. I'm from Bradenton, Florida, right? And I noticed you do this number 41 with the bushes and stuff. Well, the airport on the day of September 11th, George Bush was down there in elementary school. He was in my hometown.
Right.
And the road that runs in front of the airport is actually called US 41.
Huh.
Just kind of, a coincidence there.
Yeah. That's
just one more quick.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, what's the name of that school again where he was doing that kite plate still hit must?
Where the kids were doing, I think it was called Booker Elementary.
Okay, yeah, I've never really taken the. I've just always laughed at how he has the book upside down, and I remember there's some key numbers that are in the background on the board, and I gotta go back and look
Yeah.
at that ritual was so right. So I didn't know that about the what did you say it was? U.S. Route 41?
40. Yes.
Okay.
Because the airport's in Sarasota, Florida. That's my hometown. And that was the day that 9/11 happened, and they actually had Air Force One parked at that airport. But the main road that it runs in front of is called US 41. And one more thing. Have you ever looked up the Catholic Snake Room?
The Catholic Snake Room. Here, let's look it up.
Yes, this is very interesting. This is where the Pope does Sunday Mass, and this room looks like a snake on the inside. And it's crazy. This is like, there's a couple videos on YouTube. It's not like no Photoshop, nothing. It's like they take you inside this auditorium. It's called the Pope Catholic Hall or something like that. But it looks like a snake inside and outside.
Okay. Well, when I searched the Catholic Snake Room, unfortunately, I didn't bring it up right away. But
Are you on YouTube or is it?
No, I just did a web search first. Is it
Yeah.
Is it this Pope Paul VI audience hall?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that more.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring them two little things up because I just recently started watching all your videos, and I say that it's pretty interesting. In fact, I ordered your book too. So
thank you.
But,
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to run them by you real quick to have you look into them, maybe do a video or something on that Catholic Snake Room or something because it's really weird. Like this is and from the view of
I see
where the Pope sits. He sits in the mouth of the snake, so
he's
speaking to the audience like he's the snake's voice, and then what he sees is basically the same thing, but like he's feeding the audience to the snake. It's really weird, and there's no like symbology inside this building, no crosses. The only thing there is of Jesus is like a 10-ton brass statue behind him that looks like Jesus been blowed up in some type of bomb or something. It's really weird.
I got the picture up on the screen now. I absolutely do see how it's like the serpent. I mean, it does look like a snake's head if you were looking at the front of it. And
yeah,
it's interesting. I'll do some more research.
But all right, man. I'll let you get to somebody else. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Take care, man.
All right, bye.
Caller?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, normally I usually call you on the sports. This is the first time I called you on your regular channel. I usually listen, and I've been listening to you today. And there's one or two things I want to bring up. I noticed I seen you were talking earlier about the bombing in Yemen and how it killed 22 people. And I don't know if you had spoken about this earlier this week or when you first started your show. Did you notice the running back from Utah, Ty Jordan, who they said killed herself?
Number 22?
He wore 22.
Yeah, Utah equals 22
right.
as well, yeah.
Yeah. And Disney just released a movie called Souls. And it's basically about a guy who was a musician. He had an accident, and I guess his soul was like in purgatory. It was like he's dead, but he wasn't dead. He was trying to get back to his body, and then he's interacting with all these other souls, and one of the souls' name is literally 22.
I know that the word soul. The word soul is 22. The word soul is 20.
Look at the cast.
Huh?
Look up the cast.
I was just gonna say, first of all, if you use the rule with S, because S is the 19th letter, it's the one. It's the one letter that has the rule. Soul is 22 if you use the rule with that letter. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's a woman who plays him. I think it's Tina something. She's an actor, but like the person she plays, that's a soul, is 22.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I see the music's done by Trent Reznor too. Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails has a lot of music about, your soul and head like a hole. So okay, yeah, I'll look into it. I see it came out on Christmas. Very interesting. Soul. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was just like crazy. I was like, okay,
they announced that they're going to release this movie. Then Ty Jordan, who passed away. And then you talked about what happened with Yemen, and that was 22. And then I know it's not sports, but Monday I tied Ty Jordan into Zach Moss, and I actually won a nice little sum of money. I won $300 on a $10 bet.
Nice.
On Zach Moss.
Nice work. Yeah, that's a smart bet
Zach
right there.
Moss, because he when he first passed away, all they talked about was how he was going to break all of Zach Moss's records, Ty Jordan. And Ty Jordan left something in, I guess on Twitter about Zach Moss left something about Ty Jordan on Twitter, and in the cipher, they both have the same 10746 in the and two of the same ciphers. They same 107 and 46, both of their full names.
Sure. To come back to your soul thing, the other thing that I see about the word soul is it equals 41, and Christmas had that 41 date numerology and all these 41 rituals on Christmas, so even the movie release date, perfect date for it to come out.
Yeah. And then I seen you put I didn't even know until you posted it on your thing about Dalvin Cook's father. Yeah. And I was just showing my coworker. I was like, "Do you see how crazy this is?" I was like, "It's a 62-day numerology. His first name is 62." I said his last name is Cook, which is 44. 44 is December. 44 is Wednesday. They just reported this on a Wednesday in December that his father died.
And his father died on 12/29. Again, 12/29, 201st prime. Only team in the league that's full name equals 201 is the Minnesota Vikings. So.
Yeah, and then they just reported what's also in his last name is 17. So he's not playing in Week 17 game. They say he's not going to play.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is crazy.
I know, man, and it's the same thing day after day. It's just like, how doesn't the world catch on? So you're talking to your friend about it. What's your friend say?
He's a believer now. He's like, holy shit.
Not to be racist, is your friend black?
Yeah.
I just noticed it's just
black,
like it's such a disproportionate ratio of how many people will actually care and listen. If you had a group of 100 black people and 100 white people, such a much higher percentage of that black group would listen to this information and think about it and consider it. It's the same thing even when I pound pavement. When I was in Louisiana or Seattle, the majority of people who stopped and listened were black, and it's just like I don't know what it is with white people that they won't listen, man.
I think what it is, and it's just my personal opinion, I just believe that there's a comfort zone level, and it really, to me, I don't think it's just, it might not be color, but there's so many black people that's been disproportionate and been put in bad situations. And they always say the system is against them, and if you can give them some substance to show them how this system is against them, they'll see it quicker than, let's say, the average white person, where they haven't had that struggle in their life.
Indeed.
So they don't want to see it, or they just choose not to see it.
You're absolutely right. That's 100% what is going on. You're 100% correct. So.
But I mean, it's I think, and I just think people see it. Like, people, when they want to see it, they'll see it. He sees it, and he's just like, man, I can't even believe this shit. That's basically what he said in so many words. He's like, you have the dance choreographer who's done all these dance choreographers for all these artists. Shaba Doe, who played Ozone in Breaking, he died today. And that's like, that's crazy. And I think he died, and he was 56 or 50-some years old.
Wait, what's his name? I want to look this up. What's his name?
It just type in. He's known for his stage name, Ozone. He's one of the people who have found breakdancing.
I see.
And if you're older and you know breakdancing and pop locking, this dude, he's one of the main founders of it. He was in a movie called Breaking and Breaking 2. Like, he's done choreography dancing for he's choreography the dancers for like Luther Vandross, what's her name, Madonna. So he's legit. Like, he just died today, too.
On the 42 day.
Yep. That's what I thought was so crazy. I said, and when I saw him and Crazy Joe Clark died, I was just like, wow.
And then Dalvin Cook, I mean, it just never ends. And sadly, there'll probably be more before the end of the day. So.
Yeah, this is crazy. But no, that's all I wanted to tell you about the Souls and Ty Jordan. That was the main thing. It's been going on since this weekend when I first seen the post on Ty Jordan. And yeah, I know I hate to say that I use that information to make money off of, because I don't want to think I'm a sick bastard. But when I saw that and I saw the connection with Zach Moss.
Sure, I mean, that's just the way it is. So.
Yeah. But that's all I wanted to put in there.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All
right, take care, man. See you. Caller?
In case of a fast pickup, we ask you to let us know that you're not a voicemail system. So you need to press 1 to take this call.
Caller?
That's just the way it is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, yes, this is Andrew from New York. How you doing, Zach?
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? I meant to mention one of the observations. I was listening to what you guys were saying about the movie Soul, and one of the things I saw just popping it up on Google, I noticed it mentioned that the main character's name is Joe. The main character's name is Joe, and he's a teacher, which I found interesting in light of what happened.
Joe is 30 in the most simple. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. Which I found very interesting, considering, the death of the bat-holding teacher from New Jersey. And another thing as well that I saw was that he was born the same year as Bill Withers, 1938.
I guarantee you these things are connected. And plus, it's just been a year of Joe's, too.
To be.
It's been a year of Joe's.
Yeah.
It started with Joe Burrow, the Joe Montana rigged Super Bowl, Joe Rogan with the monster contract, Joe Biden with the rigged election, that Tiger King guy, his name was Joe.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. It's just on and on and on. It's just like a whole thing. And Joseph, obviously Joseph and is one of those names, too. It's a biblical name. Very prominent in the whole thing as far as the biblical sense, right? The father of Jesus. So I think obviously that ties into that whole thing that has that synergy. So that was just something I noticed with the 1938 and it's funny because as soon as I saw it this morning, when I saw the article here in New York, early in the morning, I saw that. I said, man. I went to look right away to see the connection, like the dates and stuff, to see, okay, maybe Bill Withers and this stuff is connected. But shout out to the caller who brought up the movie Soul, because what you said, with the whole the gematria of it and just the concept of the movie, which I just looked up. I'm like, man, the teacher and Joe, and it's just crazy. It's insane, man.
And see that once upon a time when I didn't know gematria, I just kind of saw the theme of stuff, and then it was like, come on, what are the odds of that? And then this is reported. I mean, come on. And then once you learn gematria, you're just like, wow, look at this. It's all mapped up by a numerical code too. So
yeah, it's a mockery. And another thing too that I noticed, and I know you were big on it because as far as the Nets, I know I subscribe to you with Patreon and sports, and I noticed you're big into. You believe the Brooklyn Nets will get to the finals, and I think with all this stuff going on with Jersey, as you mentioned, as you alluded to early on in your show, in the broadcast, I think they're totally a lock for the Eastern Conference. There's no doubt about it. The Brooklyn Nets, mark it in there. They will be in the finals. I don't doubt it.
What was the NBA Finals for the 56th season? It was the Nets and the Lakers. And by the way, this teacher's name in the movie, his name is Joe Gardner. I just plugged it in. 56. 56.
Oh my God! and the Nets have a player named Joe Harris. I wonder what his They have a Joe also. They've had plenty of Joes over the years, but they have a Joe now. So I wonder also how he factors into this whole thing too. He's had. I watched the mockery to see what's going on and stuff, and he's had a pretty decent year so far. So I wonder if he's going to be part of it too. What's his role? Joe Harris.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. That's a good thought. So.
Yeah, he's got a. It's funny because maybe this doesn't mean anything, but he wears an afro, and kind of like, way back in the day, Julius Erving played for the Nets when they were the New York Nets in the ABA, and he was known for an afro.
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder if there's any, just kind of like a little tribute to this and that. I don't know what it means in the grand scheme of things. I'm just.
This movie Soul premiered the day the Lakers won the finals. I think there's something going on with that because, like I said, now this teacher Joe, the news of his death's on LeBron's birthday. Again, this is how they do it. It's just all connected. And remember, the finals were played in that new complex in Orlando that Disney owns, because of course Disney owns ABC and ESPN and all that. This is how they do it, though. It's all connected.
Absolutely, and also, as you know, and then another connection too, as you know, throughout time, Brooklyn and LA has this synergy.
Jackie Robinson, like right after the Dodgers win the finals on Jackie Robinson's funeral anniversary for it too. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a complete mockery. Like, Brooklyn and LA, man, especially they have that, that history. There's always something like with the rappers, Brooklyn and LA, basketball. Like, there's just a lot there. Baseball, the history, all that. So.
Indeed. Appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, Zach. Thanks.
Right, yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Caller?
Yo, Zach. Just wanted to make a quick point to you in light of all the 42 you guys been talking about today. From the day they announced the pandemic on 3/11 to today is exactly 42 weeks.
We talked about that and all the vaccine news today. You got the new vaccine in the UK approved. You got the Pfizer story about how the vaccine doesn't work. It's just straight mockery, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And also one more thing I was kind of thinking about today. Tomorrow is a date with 83 date numerology. So I think there might, and the first is a date with 43 date numerology.
Every year on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, there's celebrity deaths. So no doubt I'm going to be here talking about 83 and celebrity deaths tomorrow. I saw that too. I was like, God, on New Year's Eve, on the 83 day, this is going to be bad.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I saw the 83, and it kind of made me think of the Pope, man, because he's been 83 all year this year. And then you go into a 43 date numerology on the first, 43 with Jesus and all that.
That's a thought. I haven't heard anything about his ill health. I feel like if the Pope was going to die, it'd be like he's diagnosed. Maybe he gets diagnosed with COVID tomorrow, and then we'll see.
They did drop that little hint about him maybe resigning or something too. So that's what made me think. So
well, he also said when he became Pope, he said he wouldn't be Pope that long, and it's been 7 years.
Right. See, that's what the 83 and then that 43. It just made me think of him being 83 all year, and then
he's 84 now, for the record. But I mean, he was 83 almost the whole year.
But he was 83 for most of the year, yeah. But from his birthday till tomorrow is 14 days, and that's kind of like the reflection of 41 that we've been seeing.
Well, dead and end both equal 14. Well, if the Pope dies tomorrow, you called it. So.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to point that out too.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, take it easy, bro.
Right, I'll see you. Caller?
Hey, Zach, how's it going, man?
It's going all right.
Hey, I'm at work, so I just gotta be quick here. Put in the gematria retard virus.
Why? I mean, I don't like D&D codes like this. I mean, retard virus, I decode what's in the news.
Oh, it's 155, 56, and 42.
Well, that is amazing. But again, I just want to warn you guys when you do that kind of stuff. Somebody might say, well, look, you can just put in whatever you want in the calculator and it equals those numbers. Maybe it's all a big coincidence. All right, go back to work, man. Take care. Caller?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
This is Tyler.
What's up, man?
Hey, I was calling, man. During the Tennessee bombing, there was something that I had noticed. If you look at the street that it was on, it's on Demons Burn. And whenever you look it up, it's Scottish Gaelic for putrid, rotten, corrupt, all these different things. And whenever you look at the video of the explosion, it's not even coming from the RV, it's coming from the building itself. And I can't verify. I don't know where to look, but apparently the AT&T building was also owned by a company named Cerberus, like the three-headed demon dog that guards the gates of hell.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty interesting. Like they throw the corruption crap right in our face.
Yeah, those are good observations.
Yeah, but I'll let you go and get some other callers on and just thought that was crazy.
All right, thank you, man. You take care.
You too.
Yeah, one of my big pet peeves is when people just write random shit and say, look, it's got the numbers too. Again, you guys, that's exactly, when you do that, you're just helping out all the critics of this work. Stick to what they do, Stick to what they do. Don't just make up your own phrase and be like, oh, look, retard virus equals coronavirus. I mean, who cares? Intelligence, you guys. Let's work on it. If the media put out a headline and emphasized retard virus, then I'd be right there with you. But I decode what they put out. Don't give the idiots a reason to think that they're right. It's what a call for an uprising calls in and says, you can just put whatever you want in your calculator and just say it means anything. So that last caller just helped build the case for. Not the last caller, but the caller before that. Again, you guys, not all decoders are created equal. Government until the college championship game. Did he do this on 12? Oh, I see the phrase. See, decoding the headline right here. This is what I like. Governor Inslee extends COVID-19 restrictions until January 11th. They're right. Codes 201 right in it. That's the Washington governor up here. And remember, his lieutenant governor quit earlier this year to join the Catholic Church in the Jesuit order. That was actual story in the headlines. So, Washington's the 42nd state. All right. Caller?
Zach.
What's up?
How you doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, I like the way you handle yourself with the call for the uprising guys. They always try to make you mad and make you go off. That's all they were trying to do. They're not trying to listen to nothing.
He's just a pathetic guy.
They can't defeat you with gematria. I was hoping they would try to do it and maybe they would learn something.
I got to warn you guys about a call for an uprising. He's really creeping me out. I don't know how he's getting the information. I'm not going to show you everything he's been spamming lately because somehow he figured out my sister's address, and I'm just like, how is he figuring this out? So I don't know if this guy's... It's probably because he's connected to he's connected to Montegraph. Somehow figures out everything, but yeah, if he's my sister is gonna be so mad if her information gets put out there. So anyway,
yeah, he got help, and people gravitate to that type of stuff right there. They like that. That's why he get all the subscribers that they know. They attached to that mentality.
Let's rewind a second. Nah, it's because these guys are shills. Again, when he came in and had 100,000 subscribers in a month, I don't know how you get 100,000 subscribers in a month, especially when your content's super mediocre. He hasn't brought anything new to the table. Again, he's a planted shill in the community, and that's why his information shows up in people's feeds, and it's why so many people know his name and have no clue who I am. YouTube promotes him, they don't promote me, so...
Yeah, it's this channel that I want you to do the knowledge to called Chemtrail, Sonovioko, and they deal with Mangellans that's coming from the chemtrails. And people, I think this, what they talking about coming out of the chemtrails is why people so dumb. Yeah, and she give you a test to take called the Magellan spit test, and you drink you gargle with
red wine,
grape juice, I think.
Red wine or grape juice. Yeah, I heard this. And then you see threads in your mouth.
And spit it out, and then pour alcohol into these Magellans start moving around. Some people say the artificial intelligence. I say that's like the body snatchers. That means these things are inside people. If that's true.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because it's just like when I've shown the videos before where I record and I show, look how all these long, like they look like long spiderweb fibers that are just all over the ground and the lawn and your car, and they rain out of the sky. Sometimes you can catch it just right where they're raining out of the sky. I'm sure because I'm sure we breathe that stuff in.
Yeah, she did you a detox formula that you can take and you can actually urinate it out. So I want to look at it, get the truth community to look at it and see if they can take the test and see if it's in them. I mean, I don't go outside a lot, so he says like in 60% of the people. And the challenge is called chemtrail synovial, called Magellan spit test.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't done it to myself because I don't want to see. I'm sure it's true, though.
Me, I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
That's how I am. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Zach, that's all I want to do.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Stay strong, man.
Yeah, indeed. You too. All right, have a good one. Caller?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you. What's up?
Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't done it.
You're going to want to mute your video, though. Mute that video in the background and then just talk through the phone.
Yes, when you get a chance, look up Native American Vaccine Act 1882, when they inoculated all of the Midwest Indians, Native Americans, and wiped them out.
I'm looking it up right now. I didn't know about this. COVID has that 82 gematria. Indian Vaccination Act. Oh, 1832, you said. 1832.
Yes, 1832.
The act was passed on May 5th, 5-5. They like that number 5-5. December equals 55. The polio vaccine was stopped in 55 because it was killing people. Interesting. All right, I'll look more into this.
Okay, and another thing is it's a couple of them. They did the same thing to the Cambodians. They gave them rubella.
They gave them rubella?
Yeah, rubella.
Okay, the Cambodians. I just want to add one more thing. I'm noticing this May 5th, 32. That was a date with 42 numerology. Again, that vaccine number. Look at that.
Right.
Yeah.
And something that you might want to take and run with it, because I didn't connect the dots yet, but do you know that the corona word is affiliated with the sun? Corona.
Oh, absolutely. We've been talking about that all over, man, because this was the year of the total solar eclipse in Pope Francis's native country, and when there's a total solar eclipse, there's a corona around the sun, and the guy who coined the term corona, his name equals 201.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've been talking about that one.
Yeah, you're sharp. Oh, you got that covered.
Yeah. And that's the day they started giving the vaccinations in the U.S., December 14th, which was the day of the corona in the Pope's country. So.
Oh, man. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And remember, the first person who got it in the U.S. was a woman named Sandra, and it was on the anniversary of Sandy Hook, where they coded 112 all over it, that big Jesuit number. It's all mockery. Shots fired at Sandy Hook, different types of shots in the U.S., vaccine shots. So.
Right.
The word shot equals 17, and I see that with this vaccine act that 17,000 Indians got the vaccine. That's what it says. Wikipedia does bullshit numbers, but December 14th, the day of the corona, and the day the shots happened in the U.S., that's the day leaving 17 days left in the year. Shot 17.
Right. So what's the connection with the coronavirus thing? With the sun? Like, what is the connection with, the sun and corona, even though...
Well, think about it. So the Jesuits are buying this whole thing. So in the year of a corona in the Pope's country, which is something that happens about once every 100 years, that just happens to be the year of the coronavirus outbreak, when we know it's all a Jesuit agenda and he's the head of the Jesuits in the church. I mean, to me, that's it.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
All right, later. I'm out.
All right, take care, man. Notice how they mentioned the stat in February about how many were vaccinated. February is the month that equals 42, like vaccine, and then the act happened on the 42 date numerology. That Sandra woman, when she got the vaccine, the word that was in the background equaled 55. That how they keep giving these vaccines on live TV and they have these backdrops with like the medical center it's at. I forget even what it was, but we covered that. Just how they keep putting those 55s back there. Bill Gates, born in 55, Mr. Vaccine. And again, 55 is a number that connects to God and Satan, and that's what it is. It's like they're playing God over people's lives, but they're satanic as hell. Why can I not answer the phone? Caller?
Hey, good afternoon, Zach. Hey, I wanted to find out if you covered the SARS pandemic.
The spars, we've talked about it a couple times. Let me see if I can bring my notes back up here with the old spars, the other simulation. What like it's for the year 2025 through 2028, if I remember right.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, Johns Hopkins again. Same people who did Claydex and Event 201 and some others. Yeah. 2025 again. That's I don't know what things are gonna look like by that year. And They Live. That's the year where the aliens in They Live. They say they'll have the entire world under control by 2025. So.
Yeah. So I just didn't know. I'm a new listener, kind of, and really interesting. Every time there's always some kind of a simulation.
Indeed. For the record, the SPARS pandemic equals Jesuit order. So it's got their fingerprints all over it.
I didn't connect that.
Yeah. SPARS alone's 19. Their chaos number, order out of chaos. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for everything that you do.
Well, you're welcome.
All right.
All right. You have a good day. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of these different little simulations out there that they've done. They've simulated everything. You guys. Never mind. We got another call. Never mind. Caller?
Hey, Zach. This is Brandon from Baltimore.
What's up, Brandon?
Man, I've been trying to get in touch with you for a while. All right, so check it. I'm a few shows late, but you talked about cognitive dissonance.
Right.
Man, I almost cut the guy out today in the gas station for asking me where my mask is. It's the law. You need a mask. These people are so lost, man. I got fired from my job because I asked, so are we supposed to pretend that the common cold and common flu doesn't exist anymore?
It doesn't. Everything is corona. It's the COVID.
It's crazy. It's crazy out here, man. I've been preaching so hard. Another thing, the common law that I've been trying to tell you about, I was surrounded by cops like a month ago. When I started laying down this common law shit to them and the supervisor finally came and they told him everything I said, you should have seen the fear in this cop's face when he dismissed the rest of them cops and told him, said, you need us? I said, no. Remind him that he's a public servant. We need to come together, man. They are playing us, and we got to ask more questions instead of telling. And like you were saying with your second page, how you want to start it, but don't want to use gematria. That should be your page where you're putting more questions. That's how we break the brainwashing. If you make people answer these questions that they know they can't answer, that'll hopefully send them searching. Because the numbers scare people. We know this.
Right. Yeah.
I talk a lot tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I did something similar many years ago. I went into a Jack in the Box, and by the way, you guys never go to Jack in the Box. Their food is shit, but Sweet Lady likes their curly fries, and I was going in there to pick up some curly fries, and the drive-thru was all backed up, so I actually just parked and went in the restaurant. And when I went in there was like all the state troopers. They'd put the tables together. There was like 12 of them in there. And this is back in like 2014 when I didn't know a lot about this knowledge. I knew some things. And I just wanted to present it to this group of police officers. I just went up to their table. I said, just like you, I said, I know you guys are public servants. I want you to have this information. I just taught them real simple about police, masonry, secrecy, order, all these 33s. And I talked about a recent story at the time of a dead police officer in the news that had 33 coded all over it. And the guy who was like at the guy who had the most authority there, he asked me to leave, and I was just like, well, that's not a very good response for dropping some knowledge on you. And
it's clear, the ego. Once you hit that ego, they can't handle it. That's what cognitive dissonance is. Our ego has been programmed up to the age of 7, and once it starts reinforcing and seeing self-fulfilling prophecy out here, it locks itself in, and it's hard to get through that. That's why you got to ask people questions. Questions make that ego say, hold on, you might be right. But when you throwing numbers at people in history, when they know history is bullcrap, they just shut down. I watch them go stupid. They can't help it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that is the purpose of the next channel, try to meet people more where they're at. I thought when I started doing this years ago that more people were on the level and looking for answers and stuff, but I found out there's just not many of us, so... Yeah.
They can't think for themselves. It's crazy. Oh, but they did bring me back. I'm the best builder they got, so they brought me back to next.
That's good.
But yeah, it's crazy out here. Please look into a Warriors call, man. I'm telling you, that man is making moves, and we trying to get the numbers that you're looking for. That is the solution. Oh, there's a channel that you said, who else is calling names out here? There's a channel called Thought Camera Action. He keep getting his videos taken down because he's calling out the Jesuits. He's calling out everybody.
Thoughts, Camera Action?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Guy from London or something.
All right, I got a Warriors call, and now I got to check out Thoughts, Camera Action. Okay.
But a Warriors call, that's the one that's how we get our power back. That man, he's giving lectures on how to use common law because everything they're doing to us is a trespass. We don't consent, like you did the truth-a-thon. We do not consent.
Here. Let me say something real quick. So it's good to have all this knowledge and information, and it can keep you out of jail and do all sorts of stuff and empower you. But I keep coming back to this, you guys. The people who rule this world, if they see a group of people doing something they don't like, they destroy that group of people. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason the Middle East gets destroyed the way it does, because I think those are the people in the world who have the most will to stand up against tyranny that still exists. And that's why they destroy those nations, and that's why they've been so targeted with the world wars as well. And again, I keep saying, until we destroy the powers that shouldn't be, you can learn all this stuff, but it's not going to be enough. There needs to be a war, and these people need to be destroyed.
If we ain't willing to die for this shit, what the fuck are we doing out here? Hey, I told you I was in the military. They trained me on some shit, so fuck it. Let's do this shit. We tired of saying, okay, sir, here, take my check. What the fuck do you mean? Tax my income before I see the outcome. I'm not with none of this shit.
Indeed.
So if we ain't ready to die for this shit, we just wasting our breath. I'm ready to ride.
Indeed. And that's how everyone has to be. So I appreciate that.
All right, guys, you take it easy, man. I'm going to let you go ahead.
All right, man. You take care.
All right.
All right, Truth Seekers. I got to wrap it up right there. I told Sweet Lady I'd be done at 2 at the latest, and it's 2:10, so I'm a little bit late. But appreciate all the good calls today and information. And if you got here late, you can always rewind the video. Just take that red bar at the bottom and just drag it back to the beginning, and then it's just like rewinding the tape. So we'll leave it there. I'll probably be back at some point today. I'm sure they'll have more whoppers for us. Sadly, there'll probably be more needless deaths in the headline. And yeah, New Year's Eve and New Year's, it's always full of celebrity deaths, unfortunately, especially tomorrow since it's got the 83 numerology. So definitely be back. Have a good rest of your day, Truth Seekers. And until next time.